Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Prosecutor's Gambit, where, as I've been getting ready, I've been watching these people move their heads back and forth for like 20 minutes. Like, just the fact that it's like those, like 4 frames of animation this whole time. All right. Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. Oh, now they're at least chattering. There's that. Silence in the courtroom, please. Miss Von Karma, if you would be so kind as to update us on the progress of the search. Oh, that's not good. It's not good news, I'm afraid. The entire big building has been searched from top to bottom, and no auctioneer's hammer was found anywhere. Ugh. That is bad news indeed. Then, we have no choice but to move ahead with the verdict. Such a terrible shame. But I suppose only a fool would have left the murder weapon behind. Certainly not what I'd expect from a first-rate criminal mind. No, there's just not enough to work with here. I can't carry us any further on my own. Yes, it really is a tragedy, but such is life, I suppose. I was just thinking back over the defendants I've made plea deals with over the years. People who poured their hearts out to me, who trusted me with every detail of their crimes. And then, when it came time to their sentencing, I recommended life in prison every time. Wow! For every single one. Oh, if only you could see them. Stupid, dumbfounded looks on their faces. The verdict will now be passed. All present will accept the goddess's word as law. There's nothing more I can do. Kay and I are both... Only we had some proof. I never imagined I would be passing judgment on you under such circumstances. The end of the road, huh? By the power vested in me, Excelsius Winner, this court hereby indicts you for your crimes. What? What? What on earth's gotten into you, Verity? I submit for the court's consideration the case file of a certain incident. Namely, the IS-7 incident, a murder that took place 18 years ago.
But what does that file have to do with... Wait, you mean... Your late night visit to this chamber, that was to...
Precisely. I came here to retrieve these documents. Though sadly it would seem that I arrived too early to get to the auction itself. When we spoke of the matter before, I implied that I had come here to retrieve files pertaining to your own case. You'll have to forgive me. That was a ruse to buy myself more time. Details of a murder case from 18 years ago. Alright, we're back in it!
What the heck are you doing, Gavel? You can't just accuse my dad. Without proper grounds, it's defamation.
Excellent observation, Eustace.
It is?
And of course, I have the grounds to make such an accusation. 18 years ago, Mr. Manfred Von Karma has some details about the victim's body fabricated. Details he was forced to fabricate when the sculptor Artie Frost's body went missing. Oh! Okay, yeah, I was trying to remember. I was like, oh, IS-7, that was what we just dealt with, right? Oh, Papa, fabricating information. What is the meaning of this? Oh, come on, you had to know. Ian Simon, I love that name. The detective originally assigned to the case did in fact report that the body had gone missing. However, it seems that a certain someone wasn't very pleased with Mr. Von Karma, and deliberately withheld that information in order to bring him down a few pegs.
What?
This individual refused to allow anyone to go against their wishes or to challenge their power, and they're known to go to extreme lengths in order to bring those who defy them to heel. 18 years ago, they were no different. In fact, they even ordered Dr. Hertz to create a fake autopsy report for the IS-7 incident.
What? She was responsible for the fake report.
Wait, you have to understand, Grandma, she's not a bad person. She had to do it, he said. She didn't have any choice.
He?
The person in question was the chief prosecutor at the time.
The chief prosecutor 18 years ago? No.
The man who gave Papa the first penalty of his career. Excelsius Winner, it was you.
Objection! What are you all talking about? My dad would never do something like that.
Sorry, Eustace, but your opinion on the matter is not needed here. Well, Chairman Winter, do you have anything to say for yourself?
All that nonsense with the body, that was Manfred's doing. Such a willful boy. The fake autopsy report. Hilda, how could you? I can't believe you naughty kids would do such dishonest things behind my back.
We could just ask her why she did it. She is standing right over there after all.
Wait, Grandma can't. She's out! Grandma, I'm sorry. I knew. That's why I... Right, exactly. If I didn't, everybody would have found out about what you did. He said he was going to charge you if I didn't help them with their plan. He said that it just had to do what the auctioneer said.
So you were coerced into doing it, were you, Nurse Needler? And just to be clear, the auctioneer was Chairman Winter.
I'm sorry, but I honestly don't know. The person forcing me to help them was the auctioneer, and they definitely looked to be about the same build as the chairman, but I never saw their face.
Well, there must be something. Any detail, no matter how small, will do.
Oh, wait. Their mask didn't cover their whole face. The part that wasn't covered had a tattoo on it. I remember that much for sure.
Ringleader wore a white jacket, white gloves, magenta flower, and a mask. Also had a tattoo on the part of their face the mask didn't cover.
The tattoo.
Yeah. This all sounds very dramatic, but I really don't know what you're talking about. There's no tattoo anywhere on my face. I think I'd know if there was one, wouldn't you? Which means I can't be the ringleader, no matter how much you might want it to be me. I only hope you can figure out who this shameless manipulator might be.
Contempt for this courtroom is an insult to the goddess. Are you sure it's not you who's feeling insulted here? I am not the only one who has been trying to bring you to justice. Miss Ringer had been trying too.
Ah. That's why she was at the auction.
And I refused to let her sacrifice be in vain.
And Rosie was looking to take me down, you say? But why? I barely knew her. I've always had a certain magnetic charm, but I don't remember ever catching that particular eye.
You barely knew the victim? Why, I do believe that is a new statement. Goddess demands that you offer your full testimony on the record.
So that's how this is going to go. You mean to hound me until I finally break? Well, if that's the way you want to play it, fine. I'll destroy you all. Every last one of you.
Mr. Edgeworth, please allow me to work with you on this one. I doubt we'll get another chance to put him on the stand. Let's make the most of this opportunity.
Of course, Your Honor. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Now, Chairman Winter, you will tell this court everything you know about Miss Ringer.
Everything I know about Miss Ringer, okay. Young Rosie was a member of the committee, of course. We never really had any personal interactions, at least none that I remember. I had no motive to murder that poor girl whatsoever, and I have absolutely no idea why she was after me. Okay.
So you don't mean to accept your part in any of this?
Of course he doesn't. He isn't guilty. How could he be? He's my dad, the winner of winners. It's very kind of you, Eustace, but you'll need more than mere words if you plan to cover for me. Right, you got it. I won't let them pin this on you. I believe in you, Dad. You'll beat Edgeworth. I know you will. Yes, you really are such a sweet, simple child.
He really loves his dad, huh? But that's no excuse for him to ignore his father's crimes.
Right.
No matter how much he respects him. Regardless of their station in life, all criminals will be made to atone for their sins in time.
This won't be easy on Mr. Winter, but it has to be done. We can't let his father get away with this.
Hold it!
Well, I don't know what we're gonna get out of that.
As a member of the committee, you must at least have been familiar with her face.
Sure, but that's about all. I saw her every once in a while.
Hold it!
So you're saying you barely knew the victim at all?
That's exactly what I'm saying, my boy. Yes, why? Never even knew about that burn mark on her hand.
You didn't?
I mean, what's the point? You get to know someone, but before you know it, they're gone. Speaking become such a pain to remember things about others. They're here one day and gone the next.
Yes, because they dare to stand up to you and you make them disappear.
If you could please add your remark about the victim's burn to your testimony, Chairman Winner.
I didn't even know about the burn mark on her hand.
You're sure you didn't know about the burn mark?
You really don't let up, do you? I'm not in the habit of memorizing who has a scar on their hand and who doesn't.
But this wasn't just any old scar. I'd say it's pretty noticeable, in fact.
Perhaps under normal circumstances, but now that I think about it, Miss Ringer did always wear gloves. Truth be told, I wasn't aware of the burn mark until after the incident myself.
Victims' hands were always covered by a pair of gloves. Makes sense, of course. People can be very self-conscious about such things. I can only sympathize being something of a sensitive soul myself.
I hope you're not too sensitive to append that statement to your testimony.
I suppose she was always wearing gloves. Perhaps it was to hide that burn.
Hold it!
So you remember her always wearing gloves?
I mean, it was something of a trademark of hers, yes. Who knew it was to hide a burn mark? I always imagined it was just a fashion statement. Does your little friend there have something to hide under all those bandages, I wonder?
Who, me? No, I don't have anything to hide.
You don't? Not even the stony visage of a cold-blooded murderer?
If anyone here is hiding such a thing, it's you. I'll expose your true face, if it's the last thing I do.
Oh, you never fail to entertain, my boy. Go ahead and do your worst.
So Miss Ringer always wore gloves. That reminds me of something. I should look over all the evidence again. Letter K was carrying. It's addressed to her. Don't worry, I'll make sure you get your precious thing back. That's not gonna help. Oh, key card, grand entry, found a victim's hand. K remembers the person coming beyond the contestant. Yeah, I already kind of figured that out. Usually one on the chest is a decoration torn from the victim's clothes. Rearm candle holder, that may have been the murder weapon, judging by the wounds of the victim. A blow to the head with a circular object. Chest wounds inflicted post-mortem. First trauma from an object, circular picture wounds. Other prominent burn marks. On the victim's right hand, okay. I was holding a key card. Marker, which we kind of already established that. I don't think that's going to help. Victim's letter. Everything figured out my plan. Now we can both get what we want. Good luck getting your revenge for what happened 12 years ago. Okay, so we need to dive into that. Sanctuary mask was kept on the rack. Each participant of the auction wore one. They were with a recording device that captured part of a conversation. One of the people recorded had a prominent burn. Oh. Alright, hold on. Can I hear the recording again? I don't remember it. Missing, I can't help but wonder where it went, although even if I were to find it, it might not be easy to fix up either. Yeah, that's not what I'm... Makes it play the record. Yeah, that's what I want. It's... I knew it was you the moment I laid out, and you can't hide that burn from me. Okay. Nothing to say for yourself. I waited so long for staying. Now I finally have my revenge. Wait, hold on. I wasn't done. I think that's it, but short statement. Big building. On sale were mainly items. 11 attendees altogether, all wearing masks. Auction continued even after Ringer's murder, but the sound of the auctioneer's hammer could no longer be heard. White jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower and a mask. Ooh, so why not wear the gloves there? A second after the answer by a lot of hearts snuck in the store room later, and an auction attendee came up on the elevator. Scream was heard not long after. Elevator blood, closed box, committee chamber blood. No, it doesn't help. Red raincoat, whose fingerprints and blood were found on the hood. There's a lot here that we weren't... paired wigs in order to enable their accomplice to disguise herself as ringer. One wig was straight, the other wavy. Ringleader's hair was straight, so wavy was not... Oh, how are we going to use that? Gusto and already fresh sun. Yeah, it doesn't really help in this case. Had a prominent burn. Alright, let's keep going. I had no motive to murder that poor girl whatsoever. Yeah, I don't really have anything there.
You never had any trouble with her professionally.
Oh, don't be so silly, my boy. I'm far too important these days for such trivialities. And by all accounts, her work was unimpeachable. Besides, our difference in standing meant we hardly ever interacted.
But that doesn't prove you didn't kill her, does it?
Well, you would say that, wouldn't you? Anything to save your little friend,
It certainly seems that Miss Ringer had some personal interest in you, at least.
Indeed, but I can't for the life of me imagine why. Too bad, so sad. Without a motive, you can't logic your way into pinning this on me.
Hold it!
You have no idea at all as to why she was after you.
Let's see now. It's because Dad's a real catch. I suppose you could say that, yes. Admirers, they come, and then they go again. You couldn't even dream of being like my dad.
Very true. I doubt many ordinary people could quite match his achievements. Remarkable, really, to have so many people come into life and then for so many to leave it.
I certainly won't complain if you choose to leave, Verity, my dear.
I think it's far more likely that you'll be the one leaving today. In handcuffs.
Yes, very troll. If you think that I'm finished, you will be sorely disappointed.
I think back over what we know about the victim. Not sure how to approach this. Take another look at the evidence. You just might find a new way to interpret old information.
Now you're trying to help me, Francisca.
I'm trying to help Kay Faraday. I couldn't care less about you.
Nice to see she really is worried for Kay in her own Francisca sort of way.
Hold on, young Rosie was a member of the committee, of course, but we never really had any personal interactions, at least none that I remember. Why, I didn't even know about the burn mark on her hand. Although I suppose she was always wearing gloves, perhaps it was to hide that burn. I'm leaning towards this. What was the other one? But also there's fingerprints on the raincoat.
Objection!
Yeah.
So Miss Ringer always wore gloves. If she did, that raises a rather important question. And the highlight's quite a contradiction.
Contradiction, you say? Really?
If we listen again to the conversation that was captured by the stuffed cow, you'll soon see what I mean.
The other person recognized, and I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. So not only was she not wearing gloves, but the other person knew about it. Nothing to say for yourself. I've waited so long for this day, and now I'll finally have my revenge.
We can be reasonably certain that what we just heard is the moment the victim was attacked. I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. We assume those were the words of the killer.
What's the problem in that? Seems like a perfectly sensible assumption to me.
I'm afraid not, Chairman Winner. If we see if the victim was always wearing gloves as you just testified, then the burn mark on her hand should not have been visible to her killer.
Objection!
Speaks as if gloves can't be easily removed. She could have taken them off during the auction.
That's...
But she hadn't. She was still wearing them when I changed places with her, so they must have been on her hands when she was being murdered, too.
What are you saying, my dear? You do know how much trouble you're in, don't you?
I'm not scared of you anymore. I have Grandma on my side now. Now it's time for you to pay the piper, Winner, you dang devil.
I see. So you're both looking to disappear, too.
Oh!
That can be arranged.
Not this time, Excelsius Winner. The only person disappearing will be you.
Objection!
Hey, you can't talk to my dad like that. Who cares if the burn was covered up? What does that even matter?
Objection!
No, it matters, because it turns out understanding the burn mark on its... It turns our understanding of the burn mark on his head.
What do you mean? What can the fact that the victim's burn mark was covered up possibly tell us? That the murderer had a burn mark as... yeah.
Think about it like this, Mr. Winter. The victim was wearing gloves, therefore the burn mark on her hand would not have been visible. In which case, whose burn mark was it that was being referenced in the recording?
Somebody who, wasn't the victim?
Precisely, which can only mean that the culprit had a prominent burn mark too. Or to put it another way, I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. Those words are spoken not by the murderer, but by the victim.
No way!
Objection.
This is my boy. Would you mind stepping aside for a sec? Look, Miles, it's nice to see you having fun with your little flights of fantasy. But let's get serious. So the murderer had a burn mark now? Really? Where? Little theory will either take flight or die, depending on your answer here, I'm afraid. I was not messing around. I have to figure out where that burn mark was and fast. I wonder where it could have been. All of the auction people were wearing disguises, right?
Yes, and each disguise was different.
Yet in spite of that, the burn mark was visible to the victim somehow, which means... Well, shall we? Enlighten us, why don't you? Where is the murderer's burn mark? I assume you have some evidence. I thought this was going to be a multiple choice. Oh! The tattoo! Right?
Take that!
Here's my evidence. The outfit the ringleader was wearing throughout the auction. Or rather, the outfit you were wearing, Chairman Winter.
What exactly is that supposed to tell us?
Objection!
A suit, white gloves, and a mask. This disguise should have covered almost all of your skin. But according to Nurse Needler's testimony, the auctioneer's mask didn't quite cover your entire face. Not only that, she claims to have seen a tattoo on the part that was exposed. But was it a tattoo, or did she simply mistake a burn mark for one?
A burn mark on the face?
Objection!
Sorry to interrupt while you're so clearly enjoying yourself, dear boy, but I regret to inform you, none of the committee members has such a burn. Myself included, of course. Also, I'm like the beard would stand out. But Dad, I mean... Eustace, do you think you can be quiet, please? You can be foolish on your own time later. Oh, now he knows. Well, you may be an annoyance most of the time, Mr. Winter, but on this particular occasion, I'm grateful for your presence. A reaction like that from you, his son, is as good an indicator of the truth as I could have hoped for, and it gives me a much-needed confidence boost concerning another theory of mine, namely who that one unexplained item belongs to. What's the matter with Mr. Winter?
I think he might be in shock. After all, he's usually the last to figure things out. But in this case, he seems to have gotten there all too quickly. He knows that his father is indeed the real murderer.
He's sad because he knows the truth? So it's better not to know the truth at all?
Okay, it's what we came here for. It doesn't matter how we get there. The important thing is finding the truth. You yourself told me that once, right when I needed to hear it the most. And now it's time for me to repay the favor and show you the truth of your innocence.
I want to know too, the truth of what really happened. So please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you show me?
I very much intend to.
You don't know when to give up, do you? Where's the burn then? Perhaps you could point it out to me. And we'll point that out in the next episode. Alright. I'm wondering, I feel like there's more that we need to figure out, but I'm also getting final case vibes from this, so we'll see. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.